Welcome to Frigid Fridays, live from New York City, the Crane Theater on 4th Street. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another extravaganza of the best independent theater, comedy, music, performance artists in New York City, coming to you from Frigid, New York. I hope you're all well, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whatever you're wearing right now, pants or no pants. You're welcome here as always. If you're not a patron, become a patron. Join the Patreon. If you don't like Frigid New York on Facebook already, like it, love it, send us a bouquet of flowers. We take all the love that we can get, but that you're here is already such a sign of love, and we are welcoming you with open arms. We've got an amazing show for you tonight, as always. I am in the Crane Theater, socially distanced from Joey, who is running tech beautifully here, and really the puppet master of it all. We are going to kick it off with Funny Women of a Certain Age, a really awesome special show that started here at the Crane and then went on to kind of take the world by storm, I would say. Now, because of coronavirus, Funny Women of a Certain Age is live on YouTube every Wednesday. That's right. You can go to frigid.nyc for tickets and info. Check them out. They are hilarious. They are of a certain age. And you should know all the comics that they feature. They really always have the best of the best. Really fun and really cool. So check it out and enjoy Funny Women of a Certain Age, our first segment on Frigid Fridays.
Land. Welcome to Women of a Certain Age. I am your host, Carol Montgomery. I always open with my mask because it's AC/DC, and even though I'm 62, I rock. I'm going to take it off now because it's 800 degrees here. So that's really great. I thank you again for coming and for supporting live entertainment. It's such a weird world that we live in. Very quickly, for the people who don't know what the show is about, I created Funny Women of a Certain Age a little over 3 years ago. I was tired of the fact that there was only one woman on the show, and honestly, the real reason is I just really wanted to work with my friends. So I created the show. It's all women over the age of 50. Sometimes we let a kid in if they're 45. We let them come in. But it's been a wonderful success. The Crane Theater, which we're working in right now, was the first venue to get what we were doing, and that has turned into a 3-year residency. And so we love the Crane Theater. Please support the Crane Theater. They are one of the few venues in this city that are trying to come back so we can bring live entertainment and live theater. They're really working on getting the theater ready and getting it safe so we can actually have live people. So you can, I know probably some of you are looking now and you're heckling, but I can't hear you, so we can't engage. Yeah? I know you want to do that. So please support the Crane. Thank you for buying tickets. I'm going to use my,
oh my God. Well, because we're in cyberspace all the time, everything is online. Everything is digital. I am on social media. I'm on social media all the time. I'm on social media so much, I think I'm a Russian robot. No, I really do. Yeah, social media is like very strange. It's all about numbers and your branding. Your branding. The first time someone asked me, "What's your brand?" I said, "Newports."
I even brought my own microphone because the whole, pandemic. I can't see for shit, but I'm pretty sure I brought my own microphone from home. Is this thing on? Is this thing on?
So the first, we're in a quarantine, people. I don't know if you know that. There's nobody here but me and the 2 girls and our fabulous sound guy. So there's a lot of talk about social distancing and that you have to stay 6 feet apart. And there are some men who have a tough time with what they think is 6 inches. How the fuck are they going to figure out 6 feet?
Okay. Hey guys at home, I have my notebook because I haven't done comedy in what has it been, 7, 8 years?
7, 8 years now.
You know, the first show I did of the whole year was here. I think it was like January 2nd.
Of course. And now,
Remember those days?
yeah,
We were so excited
and we hugged.
for the year.
Well,
So much to live for. So much to live for. So remind me never to do Carol's show again. So I don't know how many people watching live in New York. It's really great right now. Between the lines. It's 1970s New York, but with 2020 prices. So it's like a double whammy. They did cancel outdoor shows for comedians, so comedians are sad. I mean, pretty much the only people killing in New York right now are teenagers. So
This is where I have a special affinity because this is where everything happened for funny women of a certain age. It's like everything starts small, and it's like this small little place where everything happened, so that we were eventually able to go to the Bell House and have a Showtime special. So I am just hoping that we're here now. There's like 3 of us, and we're hoping that we can raise enough money to get like all the chairs like 6 feet away so that theater can be, you know, down at East Village, just done beautifully. So we're doing it.
No, so it's nice though. It's nice to stand up and do this. I can't complain that I've had the worst time. You know, luckily I haven't been alone because I'm married, so it's nice that I have someone, you know, that's been there for me to support me and love me and, you know, let me know if I'm breathing too loud and things like that. So it's nice. I mean, we've been
The
married.
police would show up eventually and they'd be like, dude, there's still blood on this floor. And my husband would say, but I mopped. The cop would respond, yeah, man, but you gotta get like on your hands and knees if you really want to clean a floor. He sounds just like my wife. Yeah, so don't worry, my husband is not gonna kill me. He's not gonna kill me because if I don't plan the thing, it doesn't happen.
Oh God, this is what it's
I
like
love
to be a guy. When we talk about menopause is men on pause. You're like, I don't give a shit. You're on pause. Men are on pause. They used to be everything. Now they're on pause. The other thing with the COVID, like you look at everybody now and you don't even look at faces. You think, wow, that's a cool mask. Nice mask. Like you don't even look like nice mask. I don't even have to worry about makeup anymore. I'm like, get the mask. Like everything. Breathe in and breathe out, and we will close with one New York City mantra. I love New York. Breathe in, breathe out. I just hate myself.
Woo! I hope you enjoyed this. Please tell your friends. We're going to do this every Wednesday at 7:30. We're having a rotating cast. We can only do I'm sure people are wondering because some of you have actually seen the show live. The reason we're only doing 3 is we usually have a third comedian, but we're trying to keep it as small as possible for the safety of everybody in the room.
I want to thank
Yes, please. When you go to Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, if you've seen the show tonight, please let us know. Let us know what you thought. We had a wonderful time. Thank you. Hopefully, we will do this with you in mind, and we will have people and an actual audience. But thank you for listening. Thanks for laughing from your home. Good night. Thank you.
It's coming up, and there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, I am not wearing a mask for Halloween. It's against my right. But remember,
Yes, we are back. I'm your host, Lucy Pohl, and I hope you enjoyed Funny Women of a Certain Age. If you did, every Wednesday, live on YouTube, go to frigid.nyc for tickets. Super easy and very, very fun. What else? It's raining in New York today, which means that comedy shows are the ones that are happening outdoors. A lot of people now, because the governor actually sort of shut down the outdoor shows, at least for the venues that serve alcohol. So some of the very creative New Yorkers have decided to bill their comedy shows as free speech protests. So I guess those you can't shut down because we still have the Constitution. So that's what's happening there, but not in the rain. Obviously, the rain kills it all. Let's find out about a new music show that will be happening at Frigid involving Isabel Stein. She's going to tell us about a new music show that she's bringing to you guys and to all of us through Frigid. I'm excited to find out about it. Let's go check it out. We don't have Isabel yet. And that's why live streaming, live entertainment is a living, breathing thing. What else can I tell you guys? Well, you know, I think it's funny, people who are like, how's your core going? How have you been for core? What have you been up to for core? I mean, what can you really say to that? You know, so I started thinking, what are the self-help books in 2020, after 2020, the ones that come out after post-pandemic? What are the self-help books going to be called? They're going to be called like, How to Just Take a Shower Today. How to Not Be Depressed for 10 minutes. And then the last one, my favorite, is going to be called Don't Jump. So dark, but so true. Yes, every time somebody asks me, how's your core going? I say, well, besides the existential crises that I'm facing every single day, it's going so well. I'm obsessed with core. You know, another thing that I've been thinking about, I've been shitting on millennials for a long time, making fun of them, you know, privileged, avocado toast, blah, blah, blah. Then I found out I'm a millennial. Joke's on me. And then I also found out that millennials are the poorest generation of Americans in a long time. So now I feel sorry for them. Not only do they not know shit about shit and have to Google everything, they're also the poorest generation of Americans since like the Great Depression. All really uplifting stuff I'm sharing with you guys here. That's what I'm here for. I am German and Jewish. Being Jewish and German makes being German better and worse at the same time. And so that's what I deal with day in and day out. That's me. And I think that we have a wonderful music performance for you by Katie Koenig. König, as you pronounce it in German, which means king. So Katie, the King Koenig, is up next. She originally performed this next piece at Under St. Mark's virtual open mic, which happens weekly on Zoom. Every, I think, Monday at 9:30. Is that right, Joey? Is it every Monday at 9:30? Every Tuesday at 9:30. So she performed this originally at the virtual open mic, and we're going to go check out Katie Koenig. Enjoy.
I am epitaph on a long forgotten stone. An epitaph on a long forgotten stone. You and I are nothing. I'll find myself in others. I can't believe what I know to be real. You and I are nothing, so you tell me in your dreams. Oh, how I've tried to stay away. You and I are nothing, so you tell me in your dreams. Oh, how I've tried to stay away. I don't know who I am without my shame. I don't know who I am without my shame. I don't know who I am without my shame. I don't know who I am.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm poor, and my country is poor, and I've never felt more patriotic. So I don't know about you guys. It's like, it feels like right now the Statue of Liberty should have its own like OnlyFans page. What'll do anything for money. This isn't, I'm assuming Mike, all the rest of you guys, this isn't my first recession. This is like technically the third one of my life. And this is great because now I know how to dress for it. You know, like before when it first
And the face. And so I started writing this, and I was like, okay, like this will fizzle out as soon as COVID does. And yeah, now I'm on chapter 3 because there's no end in sight. But this has actually been like amazing for me because like the fact that like I have to write before the weekly open mic actually forces me to write. Because otherwise I would be too depressed to do it. So, yeah, I got some.
One of the hosts from Under St. Mark's Theater, the Mike at Under St. Mark's, brought to you by Frigid New York. Just here to say to you that I hope you're all safe and well and that you're practicing social distancing. It's not about trying to make a political statement. It's just about showing that you care. You may not be feeling sick. You may be feeling fine. You may have been tested. but just to keep our safety right now and to keep the pandemic at bay, I believe it's just a good thing to keep practicing, and also wear your mask when you go outside and you're around people. Thank you very much, and you have a great day.
Woohoo! Give it up for Mike Milazzo and Katie Koenig. The open mic, for those of you that don't know, the open mic at Under St. Mark's has been running there for 19 years. I wasn't even born when it started. Why are you laughing? That wasn't a joke. Right, we're gonna keep it going. How do you feel? I hope you're feeling great. I hope you're getting drunk. I hope you are, stimulating the senses somehow. Last week we made, what did we make last week? Chicken something. The week before it was pizza. And I hope you guys all tried out those recipes. They're all online. One family, one meal. All great stuff. But for now, we are going to go to Kevin R. Free, and we're going to check out what was happening last week in reparations.
All right. So now we have the person who is the reason that I'm doing this tonight. I don't know how I describe this person, but I feel like most of you watching know him, so you have your own description for him. I don't know if there are enough words to describe him, but he's had a big impact on my life and on my career ever since he came into it. He's been somebody that has shown me a lot of love and given me a lot of opportunities and honestly, a lot of things that have led to my growth. So without further ado, here is the man himself, Kevin R. Free.
Thank you, Jarvis. I'm going to try to do this without looking at myself because there's a little bit of a delay. And also, all of the people that have been on the show are making me a little, make me want to cry a little bit. So this is the segment that we call This Week in Reparations. For the past 4 weeks, we brought you videos of me interviewing Rachel Chavkin and Jalen Livingston and the team from Reconstruction, a show that they're working on. And I've been thinking a lot, because the Reparations Show is really about being thoughtful for me. And I've been thinking a lot about not holding white people accountable as much as repairing our relationships as Black people, our relationships to each other and to ourselves, because we're never going to get the millions and trillions of dollars that we are owed. And so I've been thinking a lot about what to present during this segment. And now I want to, something happened this week that I just want to share with all of you. And before I do that, I just want to talk about my family. I have 4 siblings. I have a brother who is a cancer survivor. I have a brother who is an Army veteran. I have a sister who is very spiritual and has a podcast and a website for people who aren't necessarily Christians, but people who are spiritual. I have another sibling who believes in the QAnon conspiracies, and a big Trump supporter. And if any of them needed me for anything, I would be there for them, no matter what. And I'm thinking about how to be a better brother. And I was already thinking about that. And then I received an email about Stevie Walker Webb, who is an upstanding person in the independent theater community, he is a 2050 fellow at the New York Theater Workshop. Many of you who are watching know who he is. But I wanted to share the email, the press release I got about an event that he is doing to save his brother, who is in jail in McLennan County, Texas. And we're going to share the website where you can get involved, where you can watch the protest, and where you can donate. And that will be This Week in Reparations. So I'm just going to read this press release to you. And here it is. On August 22nd, 2020, Obie Award-winning theater artist and activist Stevie Walker Webb will stage hundreds of thousands, a 24-hour public demonstration relegating himself to a 6 by 9 foot space on the grounds of the McLennan County Highway 6 jail in Waco, Texas, to mark the 122nd day that his brother, Stephen Wade Walker Webb, has spent in solitary confinement. The demonstration will be live streamed on the Public Theater's YouTube channel and is a response to the wrongful incarceration of his mentally impaired brother, Stephen Wade Walker Webb. On April 22nd, 2020, Wade had a bipolar schizophrenic episode. As Wade was in crisis, the Walker Webb family called the mental retardation facility for emergency mental health assistance. Instead of dispatching the requested mental health emergency response team, the Waco police were sent. Despite the family's pleadings for mental health specialists and their explanation that Wade was in crisis, the police tasered Wade, arrested him on his family's front lawn, and loaded him into a police car. Wade is being held on charges related to resisting arrest. Since his arrest, Wade has been denied access to proper mental health care, and the conditions of his solitary confinement worsen with each passing day. Currently, Wade is not allowed time outside of his 6 by 9 foot cell because the McLennan County Jail is experiencing a COVID-19 outbreak, and Wade's underlying health conditions make him vulnerable. Hundreds of Thousands aims to make visual the suffering and inhumane treatment of incarcerated mentally ill people and the policies that adversely impact their lives. The demonstration brings awareness specifically to the injustice that Wade is facing, but also points to the national failure of our mental health care system and its use of incarceration and solitary confinement as treatment for mental illness. Solitary confinement is inhumane, but particularly brutal for people suffering with mental illness, as studies show how it exacerbates their condition. As of 2019, approximately 34% of the U.S. prison population suffers from mental illness. Mental illness is not a crime, and the hundreds of thousands incarcerated as a result of their mental illness are not criminals. Hundreds of Thousands takes place in concert with Black August, a commemoration that began in the 1970s to uplift efforts to dismantle mass incarceration, the prison industrial complex, police brutality, and the many social ills that disproportionately affect the African American community. The demonstration is also in alignment with the Poor People's Campaign, as it is poor people of all colors who are incarcerated as a result of the failures of our mental health care system. The profiteering of prisons from the suffering of mentally ill people is a national human rights issue. Now, there are many ways that you can help bring focus to this moral injustice and help the Walker Webb family get justice and proper care for Stephen Wade Walker Webb. His situation is dire and urgent, and the mistreatment of mentally ill people won't improve unless we commit to improving the systems that criminalize them. Below are some ways, or here are some ways that you can help. You can view and share the link to the live stream of the 24-hour demonstration. That'll go on the screen. The demonstration begins tomorrow, August 22nd at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. You can go to Stevie Walker, go to the website freewade.com, and you can make a donation. All funds raised during this demonstration will go toward Wade's placement in a long-term private treatment facility. There's a GoFundMe. Tonight, when Jason was talking about our trans sisters, I was moved because they are our sisters. And I say that Wade is our brother. Let's donate. Let's help them. All right, this concludes This Week in Reparations.
And that was This Week in Reparations, a show that I believe is on, should be on, after us tonight. It usually is, Fridays at 8. So check that out. Important and powerful stuff that gets talked about there. We have Isabel Stein in the house. Oh my God. Yes, at last, Isabel Stein is here. And she will, in fact, be giving us a little sneak peek of her Frigid Music show. So please enjoy Isabel Stein.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. So I'm just here to tell you about an exciting new workshop that's happening next week, Thursday at 8:30 p.m. through the Crane Theater online stream. It is a project called Dating 2020, which is a brand new musical song cycle about young New York City looking for connection in a world that's disconnected. It's explored through comedic songs and many different identities of people and experiences. And I would love to sing one of the songs from Dating 2020 for you tonight. And I also am the composer and lyricist of this project. So this song is called I'll Just Pretend You Didn't Say That from Dating 2020. Technical difficulties. This is why we love online things. Okay, should be working. Just give me one moment. The suspense. Oh my goodness. I hope everyone's having a wonderful, what is it? I don't even know what it is. You just don't know what day it is anymore. It's just like all together. Okay, here we go. So you only get one chance to make a positive impression on the other. With nerves running wild and emotions so high, some words can slip out less than gracefully. If we meet for coffee and you exclaim you're so glad you made the trek because I passed your background check, I'll just pretend you didn't say that. Or when you exclaim in order to keep your bill, you have to train like a sardine and drink egg whites out the carton, I'll just pretend you didn't say that. Politics and favorite flicks, and if you clean your fingertips, go ahead and tell me. Just know the thoughts I'll entertain are the thoughts that won't repel me. If you're gushing about how you're drawn to me and you'd like to be my mister because I look just like your sister, I'll just pretend you didn't say that. Morality, frugality, digestive abnormalities, lay them on the table. Just know I'll only take in as much as I am able. When you declare that all of your role models are both mysterious and interesting, and then you mention Charles Manson, I'll just pretend if you're complaining about deodorant and how buying it's such a chore, so you don't wear it anymore. I'll just pretend you didn't say that. I'll just pretend you didn't say that. I'll just pretend. I'll just pretend. I'll just pretend. I can't pretend you didn't say that. Taxi. Awesome. I hope we can see as many of you as possible on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. for the workshop of a brand new musical song cycle, Dating 2020. Thank you so much for having me, Crane Theater. This was really, really fun.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cesar Williams, and I am the artistic director of the Obie Award-winning Fire This Time Festival, which operates under the Frigid New York umbrella. As we all know, the pandemic has hit the arts community especially hard. Please consider becoming a patron of Frigid New York. and join at whatever level you feel comfortable. If you do, you'll get cool rewards like merchandise, invites to virtual happy hours, plus tickets to shows with drinks once we reopen. Simply go to patreon.com/Frigid New York. Again, that's patreon.com/Frigid New York to support indie theater and the real people who make it. Thank you.
Wow, just like that, we're back. How's everybody feeling? We had Isabel Stein. I hope you enjoyed that. I thought it was fantastic and beautiful. And check out the show that is coming to you very soon. And the Reparations Show on after us today at 8 p.m. The open mic. What else? We've had so much good stuff. Kevin R. Free. Next, we are going to Vernee Norman. I'm very excited about this, and I hope you are too. And if you're not, just remember, the world is ending, and this is your last chance to get excited about stuff. So do it. Let it out. Let it rip, people. Please, let's welcome Vernee Norman.
Hi, everyone. I'm Vernee Norman. I'm so glad and thankful that Frigid New York has had me here on the show. Last week, I had just on the Reparations Show, I showed everyone how to make eggplant pizza, and I'm so excited to be back today and just kind of help you understand how to have more interesting meals. Now, during quarantine, first of all, I love to cook, and I've been cooking for a number of years, but my zeal and vigor at the beginning of the quarantine has now waned. I'm not really sure what month it is anymore. I can't remember, almost in September right now. And really, I'm just trying to figure out how to keep my meals fun, interesting, simple, still be engaged, but not get overwhelmed with them. And so I've been kind of reverting back to a few different things that I have had, that I've developed over the years to kind of help keep my meals interesting. So one of the number one things that I do to kind of do that is whenever I get bored with food, I just think about, what's something new that I haven't tried? And I'm sure so many people have done this throughout quarantine, whether you tried sourdough or there was that fancy coffee, I got really into taquitos during quarantine as well. I kind of look at one ingredient. I don't try to get overwhelmed by all the different possibilities. I look at one ingredient and I say, what exactly can I do here? What's possible, right? And so just for example, one thing that I have really done over quarantine is really get into dried beans. I know a lot of people, especially if you are low on funds, whether you're in college, you're a working artist, wherever it can be, it's kind of hard to understand how to start being creative and still have good food. Dried beans, beans in general are just like a staple. So beans are great to start out with. I start with the dried beans and I start looking at I start with one ingredient, such as dried beans, in this case, black beans, and then I start really thinking about what different regions use this type of ingredient. So I'll look at regions that use it, and then I'll go deep. I'll start looking at recipes, try to find complementary flavors, dishes that go with it, and then I start experimenting it creative. Sometimes it can feel kind of I don't know, you get bored of your food and everything. I know for a time I was eating eggs. I don't know if there's anyone else, but I had like egg salad for lunch, and then I was having an egg sandwich for breakfast, all these different things. So for me, beans were a really wonderful way to kind of go back to my very, very broke college days, but then also really dig into it and find out a really, really fun way to make them really interesting. So with black beans, my basic bean recipe, you might want to write this down if you have this nearby. It's standard. I use it all the time. If you're cooking dried beans, get your dried beans, no matter if they're pinto, black, garbanzo, whatever they are. I start with my dried beans. I use an onion, chop it up, quarter it, drop it in the pot, and then I also drop in a few cloves of garlic, usually about 3 to 4 different cloves of garlic. I put in some bay leaves, then I also put in some oil, usually olive oil. If you kind of cook it with that, there's different lengths and everything like that. Some beans you may need to soak right before, but if you usually cook with, once again, some onion, garlic, bay leaves, salt, of course, I included that earlier, salt, and then also olive oil, you have a pretty good base for dried beans to base off of. So once again, so with my dried beans, I was thinking like I really got into black beans. So in my black beans, I'd say my secret weapon, my secret ingredient that I put into my black beans is an orange. In addition to everything that I just mentioned, I'll quarter an orange, squeeze the juice in, drop it in, and it really it's an interesting flavor, and it's hard to describe, but it's really delicious. And then I'll go back and I'll saute some onions, garlic, and I'll put the beans in that I've cooked using that recipe I just described, saute that, and just kind of refry it and season it with paprika and cumin. It's a really delicious way to bring out different flavors. So I came up with that recipe by kind of thinking broad. So once again, when I'd say like when you're looking at how to get interesting with food, I looked at where's this recipe, like where's somewhere where people eat this food quite a bit. So my recipe is a combination of, I'd say, Latin American and Caribbean recipes. So my bean recipe, it was called like a Cuban black bean recipe. I don't know how accurate the recipe is for Cubans, but the orange is what makes it like the Cuban factor. So after the beans are cooked, then I go back and refry them. And that is, that's kind of a technique that I take from Brazil. I spent 2 months studying, I spent a number of months actually in Brazil, but specifically 2 months studying Portuguese down there. And I fell in love with like culture that, oh my gosh, Brazilian food is my favorite. But refrying the beans, that technique is kind of taken from a Brazilian dish called feijão. And so just kind of blending that together. So I kind of want to like bring it all together, and perhaps one day I'll have the visuals for this. But once again, you kind of want to start with the region. I said, I have my black beans right here. Where is it somewhere that like people use black beans where they cook it a lot? Started looking at different ingredients. With that, I came up with a base to use. Once again, onions, garlic, bay leaves, olive oil, salt, standard for all of my dried bean recipes. And then I looked for a way to take it to the next level. If you're broke, bored with your food, you always want kind of looking for a way to take your meals to the next level. Sometimes it doesn't need to be like you go out and you really do this big pizzazz or something like that. Perhaps it's really kind of considering a different way to cook a food or different technique that you can bring in. So there's a couple of different ways to really spice up your cooking, I'd say, and just consider different ways that you can really keep it interesting, stay on budget, but then still kind of get some interesting meals going, so you don't get so bored with it. So I hope that helps you kind of get different perspective on things. Once again, number one thing that I recommend, looking up an ingredient, focusing on one ingredient. You don't need to go crazy, look up a whole meal, but just focus on one ingredient, look up a region, look up where that food comes from. Try to learn a bit more about that culture, how people use it there. And then once you kind of get that perspective, you want to kind of bring it back into your cooking and then explore different ways to spice it up with technique. So a bit more technical today. I hope that helped though. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, my Instagram is right here on the screen. It's Vernee Norman. Vernee Norman, Norman. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm just kind of finding my little wings, helping other people learn how to cook. It's been something that I've loved to do for years, but I'm happy to help with any questions or opinions you might have, looking for recipes. Happy to do so on my Instagram. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Keep it simple. No need to get stressed about cooking. It's just food after all, and it should be fun. So hope that helped, and I'll see you next time.
when the night has come, the land is dark, and the moon is the only light that we'll see. Whoa. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you don't stand by me.
Nice. Topical.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
very good.
Guys, another round of applause for Deb Zeb. Another round of applause.
Woo! Applause for Vernee Norman and that lovely musical PSA tribute. Food. Yes, food, glorious food. Remember when we were making banana bread? I had a real hardcore banana bread phase. And now it's like, I never knew banana bread. Banana bread was never a part of my life. I've just forgotten about banana bread. It's like I dated banana bread and now I just have decided to never speak to banana bread again. It's serious. It's very serious. No, I agree with Vernee. Food should be fun. Food should be easy and delicious and enjoyable and not stressful. My favorite meal that I made during quarantine was spinach. Delicious. And then I saw some za'atar in my little, on my little shelves. I thought, oh, that'll be good. Put that in there. Then I opened the fridge and I saw some tahini. I thought, oh, great. Put some tahini in there. And then I was like, oh, eggs. Cracked an egg, threw it in the spinach. And then I was like, ooh, carrots. Delicious. Carrots in there. Carrots, very good. Then I was like, oh, my God. Cheese. I have some feta. I'm definitely putting feta in here. Threw some feta in there. Then I was like, oh, sesame seeds. Great. Shoved a bunch of sesame seeds in there. Then I was like, oh my God, pine nuts? How could I not put pine nuts in this spinach tahini? And then I was like, oh my God, I have tuna. Protein. I need protein. So I took the tuna out and I was like, oh my God, mayonnaise. I have mayonnaise and tuna. Mayonnaise and tuna go really well together. So I mixed the tuna with the mayonnaise. I was like, I'm going to throw that on the spinach. Threw it on the spinach. Salt, pepper, chili flakes, lemon. Lemon goes on everything. And it was the nastiest thing I've ever eaten in my life. And I thought it was a perfect metaphor of my state of mind during the quarantine. Anyway, we're going to keep it going. We are going to go to Jenny and Amanda's movie corner, I think. I'm getting some breaking news here. Yes, I've got breaking news coming in. Donald Trump has fallen. No, sorry, that's not true. We're going to go to Veronica Garza. Veronica Garza is here. We love Veronica Garza. She's hilarious. She's awesome. She's delicious and nutritious. Please welcome Veronica Garza and enjoy.
Oh, yay. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I am delicious and nutritious. That is the only credit I officially want now when I'm doing comedy. It's hard for me to tell jokes because I'm fucking happy. Look at me. I'm on the beach right now. I'm in Cape Cod. Wow, it's not even fair what these next 7 minutes are going to be about because I'm in such a good mood. I could bomb and I don't care because look how brown I am now. I'm 5th generation, but I look like I don't belong in this country. Honestly, it feels really good. But yeah, I am in Cape Cod for the summer. Yeah, I'm summering, and I don't know if anyone's ever summered, but let me tell you, the best part about summering is bragging that you're summering. It's crazy, and it's great annoying people by telling them, hey, you know, I'm summering. And if you guys forgot, in summary, I'm summering. It's a very great feeling. I am in Provincetown, which is on the dick tip of Cape Cod, for those familiar with that shape. And for those who are familiar with that shape, you might be saying, oh, wow, that's a really curved dick. And if you're hesitant about accepting that shape, you've never had the experience of having sex with a Brazilian man in the Upper West Side of New York City on the bottom bunk of a hostel. And I feel sorry for you. That's right. I was still summering. I'm, you know, other than that, you know, I'm here, and I'm summering, but I also have a job here. But you know what they say? What do they call it? If you're summering and you have a job, what do you call it? It's working. I'm working here on Saturdays. I do cleaning for this nice little hotel on the beach. And I'm going to say this, it shouldn't be a problem cleaning at all because we're all adults, but everyone's nasty. Erez, you're nasty. Lucy, you're nasty. I'm disgusting. All the people here are gross, and it's because they're on vacation and they don't care. But it doesn't matter because I'm getting a tan. And let's talk about some actual depressing stuff because I got to get back to New York City eventually. Let's see. I have what they call active bitch face, which is like resting bitch face, except you can tell that I played soccer and that I was actually really good at it. There's a couple things I've been thinking about lately. For instance, what if I had a superpower? I think I would want my superpower to be I would be able to tell just from tasting a wine how long that bottle's been open and if it's organic, which I think that's a superpower only cherished by those over the age of 35. It's like if an X-Men developed their powers late after a trip to France, which is a storyline I'm rather sure has not been covered in X-Men. Let's see. I mentioned working. A lot of people, I know it sucks. It is a weird time that a lot of people are unemployed. And, you know, that is unfortunate, but I feel like it could be worse. Yeah, you're unemployed, but you could work in HR, human resources. It's weird because I feel like the people that work there aren't human and they have no type of resources to help you. You know, it's, I feel like they shouldn't even call it human resources. They should call it place where you go your first day of work or place you go to when you get caught trying to fuck your coworker. Those are the only two purposes I've seen for HR, or when I added my partner onto my insurance, which, you know, is something that also shouldn't be happening because we all should have healthcare anyway. But it was good to know, hey, I got one good quality and I see one thing that she sees in me. I've got a copay that's very low. But yeah, human resources. It's weird. Like, who studies to go into that? Like, there's no major that's human resources. It's when you work in human resources, it's a punishment for all those times you stole sneakers when you worked at Foot Locker in your teenage years. That's I feel like that's what human resources is, kind of like a purgatory. Not exactly hell, but it's definitely not heaven. And time just slows down when you're there. I think that's what that is. I think the only thing worse than working in human resources would probably be a Zoom happy hour with your human resources department. I'm just throwing it out there. That might be it. I think that horoscopes are bullshit, which is a very Scorpio thing to say. But I don't believe in them at all. I do believe that, you know, we should pay attention to what kind of NBA player you are. For instance, if you were born in January, you are what we call a LeBron James, which means you have done really well for yourself, but you didn't go to college. And, you know, you think you're really great. A lot of people say you're the greatest, but I know you'll never be better than Michael Jordan. You could also be Shaquille O'Neal. That's mainly people who are born in April or June, which doesn't make sense, but neither does Shaquille O'Neal's lack of ability to shoot free throws, despite the fact that he practiced every day for about 20 years. So, you know, some things don't make sense. But yeah, if you're a Shaquille O'Neal, you also, you know, people don't know that you were a rapper once and that you might have been okay at it. Not great, but, you know, you had a good time when you did it. And people are like, well, maybe they could have done that. And we always think about what would have happened. So yeah, I think NBA players would be better than horoscopes. I have a whole bunch of new shit, and I'm excited to share it. So thank y'all for letting me run through this. I'm not a fan. I don't post thirst traps. What I do actually post though are what I like to call work traps. They're random photos of me just like at my laptop, turning it off and on again, or as I like to call it, troubleshooting, or posting a picture of me like arranging files in alphabetical order, or I'll sometimes post a pic of me just getting coffee and standing in the kitchen doing nothing. And I like to tag Indeed or Monster.com or LinkedIn, which, you know, I just like them to see what their, what other employers could have. And, I already have a job, but it is cute to flirt. So it's nice to be able to do that. I call them work traps. You don't have to be employed to do them, but you throw them out there. And if Indeed's like, hey, this person is good with sending emails. Also, we'll see. Maybe HR will see it, but they're on the internet all the time anyway, right? I don't know. Maybe they're doing payroll. Not entirely sure what HR does still. Let's see. I'm ready to get back to New York City next week. I do miss it, and I've been reminiscing because we all have so much free time. I've been thinking about the time when I first moved to New York City, when I was in Times Square giving out flyers, and a pimp approached me. He looked like Smokey Robinson, but he was wearing fake red Oakleys. Very specific look. And he told me I could do more with what I have. And I was like, sir, you're right. I have 2 degrees. He's like, no, you could earn more instead of getting out these flyers by selling your ass. And I was kind of offended, kind of flattered. So I inquired, just to find out what my going rate was. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to get what my street value was from this pimp. I call it like, it's like a blue book for your pussy. Like I would have been like a used car, not a lot of mileage, but still young. Maybe still smelled new. I don't really remember 27, but I never forget that pimp. Anyway, blue book for your pussy. That's a business idea. Let's roll with it, please. Once this pandemic is over. Let's see what else. I am a sucker for just grammar in general, good or bad. But I do get annoyed when when people use certain words incorrectly. For instance, can and will, such as the ability. Like for instance, Veronica, can you stop being so gay? Yes. Veronica, will you stop being so gay? Never. That is impossible. And let's see. My girlfriend and I actually during the pandemic, we moved in together, like everyone did, even if they were single. You just found someone, you're like, let's split this rent. So it was interesting when we moved in together because, that's when we've been together almost 4 years and we're learning all these interesting habits about each other. And she found out a new thing about me. She found out that I'm allergic to strawberries. And I found out an interesting thing about her, that she's allergic to cleaning, which there is no Benadryl that can fix that allergy, which is very disappointing on my end. And in me pleading, because she apparently will die if I don't do it. Maybe she'll break out in hives. But I recently hurt my back while vacuuming, which is the most Mexican I've ever been in my life. But the part of my back that I hurt is called your sciatica. And for those who aren't familiar with what your sciatica is, it's the part of your back that you injure as soon as you have health insurance, which is kind of interesting because I feel like soon my girlfriend might hurt her sciatica now that she's hopped onto mine. Not that I'm waiting for it to happen because God forbid she's not able to clean. Let's see. I've been, since I've been Provincetown, it's one of the gayest cities, I feel like, in the US. I'll just talk about this real quick before I go. I remember when I came out to my mom, I came out to her actually on a phone call, which I think is cute because no one calls anyone anymore. But I told my mom I was gay, and I remember I kind of heard her go off the phone and tell my dad, I told you. And I'm sure I heard a crinkled $10 bill get slipped from my mom's hand to my dad. So I'm like, I could have been worth more than that, but whatever. Got to know my value. So after I told my mom I was gay, she told me, it's okay. Just don't date anyone ugly. Which is interesting because she managed to be both supportive and shallow at the same time, which I feel like that's the epitome of a Mexican mother. Guys, I'm Veronica Garza. Thank you so much for allowing me to perform, and I'll give you a nice quick look at the beach again and say I miss everyone there that I'm used to seeing at shows. Guys, thank you.
Direction of Frigid. The theater's here. You can drop off the money. Suitcases are fine. Duffel bags are fine. Whatever works. Gold, we'll take your jewelry, diamonds, anything you've got. Old carpets, we'll take. No, what am I talking about? We don't want old carpets. We want your support, your love, and a little bit of your money too. What's the big deal? What else? Follow all the artists you've seen tonight. Veronica Garza, give it up one more time for the amazing Veronica Garza. So funny, so cool, so sexy, and so delicious. Veronica Garza, Isabel Stein, Candy Koenig, Mike Milazzo, Vernee Norman, Kevin R. Free, all funny women of a certain age. Check them all out. Follow their social media. You know, one like for these artists is it's actually the most important thing in their life. Let's be real. One like, one extra like. So just do it. Go and do it. You won't be sorry. And we're going to keep it going. Yes, we have something very exciting coming your way. And that is Amanda and Jenny's Movie Corner. Ooh, let's go check it out. And I think that wraps it up for me, your host, Lucy Pohl. As always, Frigid Fridays. Please enjoy all the rest of the segments that are coming your way. Please follow and like. Show us your love. We love you. We're in this together. Wear a mask and vote. Mwah.
I'm gonna put my wine down, grab my popcorn that I almost finished while watching the rest of the show. Yes, I'm very British.
So hello everyone. Hello. I am Jenny. That is Amanda. This mirroring thing, I can never get used to at all.
You're all there.
Every time.
I can't either. Well, I'm sitting up and I'm like, am I centered? Is that centered? I don't know. Well, I'm super excited.
Yes. Right now. Yeah. So Amanda and I in October are going to be doing our Ha Ha Halloween movie review series, which is going to be so much fun. We're going to be streaming some public domain horror movies and lightly making fun of them as we go with lots. It'll probably start a little light, and then the more Moscato I have, the worse it'll get.
Oh.
Woo! Yes. Oh my God. So right now we're going to do a little bit of a preview for you, kind of. We're going to talk about some of our favorite quarantine series and movies to binge while you're stuck at home doing nothing instead of doom scrolling on the internet until you die. So
Well,
Amanda.
Yes, we have several categories with our top picks plus some honorable mentions. If you are watching and you have a different idea for what should have been nominated in that category,
Keep your opinion to yourself. No, I'm kidding. Go on.
Goodness. No, but I would like to know, because then we can discuss it. First up, we have Best Binge Series.
Best Binge Series.
Best series of movies.
That you can just sit down, watch the entire way through, not get bored with yourself, not get bored with it, all of that fun stuff. So, Best Binge Series is
Drumroll.
Pirates of the Caribbean!
Best Binge Series.
Best Binge Series 100%. So I have been obsessed with Pirates of the Caribbean since the creation of it. I was a pirate at a Renaissance fair for 3 years, starting when I was 11, I think, which says a lot about me as just a person. And I still have all of my pirate merch from my pirate days. But the best thing about my cringy childhood memories is that I would wear my pirate Renaissance fair costume to go see Pirates of the Caribbean in theaters. And I would dress my friends up as well to come with me. It was a whole time. My towel's a
I love your outfit. We clearly did not coordinate.
Well, when I saw you setting up in your bedroom, I was like, oh, I'm going to be at my desk with my thing behind me. So I need to make it look like I'm like chilling, even though I'm not at all chill right now. There's like 2 ottomans stacked on top of each other for this. I'm sitting in a very uncomfortable folding chair. There's a photo of myself behind me. Like, there's a lot going on right now.
There was a lot of things that went into this pick. It's a fun series. It's got some heart. The movie's got some heart. And I don't know if anybody else is following along with what happens in media, but we recently were given Johnny Depp back.
We were. We got custody again.
And then we found out, wow, that marriage was crazy nuts. So, and also, there's always rum in quarantine.
Always rum in quarantine. Where's the rum gone to? Amanda. That's where. All right. Up next, we have Most Disappointing Love Triangle.
So many disappointing love triangles in movies.
How can I pick?
Oh, yeah. Which our pick, because it's also equally too depressing to watch during our own personal post-apocalyptic nightmare that we're all living through, is drumroll.
Hunger Games! The Hunger Games! Oh my God. Hold on. I need to fix my hat.
Hunger Games. I actually made the mistake of watching Hunger Games during quarantine.
No!
I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought they were good movies. Like,
not for quarantine, though.
Not from quarantine. Like, we started watching, my husband and I, Hunger Games off of finishing the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise because I
that's a vibe
and quote said, I want to watch something else that's summery and fun and a blockbuster.
No.
I really didn't know what
Hunger Games. God. Oh, poor thing. Oh my God.
Yeah. And
the chaos.
Most disappointing love triangle.
She shouldn't have ended up with either of them.
No, yeah, I agree. And I feel like I have to put up Emily's comment here. Yeah, we'll go make you some. It's going to the movies at home with Jenny and Amanda. So we'll get popcorn. Yeah. And then
3D technology.
And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I particularly was like, bad form to kill her sister at the end of the 3rd movie, because that was the whole reason why she was fucking doing it in the first place. Like, bad fucking form, Hunger Games. Dislike.
I also love that the only way that they could actually separate that love triangle was to blame the killing of her sister on one of the love interests.
That's why. Thank you, because I forgot that I thought that. You read my mind because I was like, we basically just took him out of the running in like the weakest plot point ever. You just were like, we're just gonna throw that in there.
Instead of just like letting her decide things for herself, like, oh, you killed my sister. Like, can't you just make a choice?
And we noted this earlier when we were picking this. It's like obviously the way you deal with post-traumatic stress disorder and trauma is you get married and you pop out babies.
And in the book, it's even worse because like she even says like, I never wanted kids, but PETA pushed me into it. It's like, great, thanks, that's helpful.
I didn't know that.
Well, she says it like nicer than that, but still that's like the tone. And it's like, great, I hate this.
I want you to die so badly. I was like, fuck this movie that they're not going to kill this guy.
I'm going to turn him into a cake.
Our honorable mention was obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but our honorable mention was Twilight.
The Twilight Saga. I have some more cringy memories about the Twilight Saga. I didn't hate it growing up, but I was in high school when it came out. And it was very trendy to hate it or to love it. And I was friends with people in both camps. But one of my friends was obsessed with the movies, obsessed with them. She was Team Jacob so hard. And she would host like movie watching parties at her house, her parents' house, because we were in high school. And we were watching the first movie. And we realized very quickly on that there was this one background actor, a high school student, who was in like the front of every background scene. And it was getting kind of weirder and weirder and weirder. We're like, that's the guy. That's the exact same guy. Like clearly like this guy was either the chillest person on set to work with and the PAs were rewarding him, or he just knew how to get himself to the front of the scene. Like sitting behind her outside, behind her at a locker, doing absolutely nothing with the dials and stuff. It was a whole mess. But we managed to actually like look him up on IMDb. And his name was like Tyler Nordby. And we created a whole Facebook group dedicated to this background actor because we thought it was so funny. And then he found it because like a good actor, he was Googling himself. And then he joined the group.
I am not a good actor. Don't Google myself.
You could have a group of high school students and creating some weird cult about you. You don't know this. You should try it.
Wow, you should find it. That's awesome.
It was very strange. It was a very weird time. And I was really sad actually because Facebook did this revamp of their groups where you had to like confirm that you were still going to stay in the group. So it's only me and one other person. Tyler Nordby is no longer in it. But I was going through today, actually, because these memories were bringing it up. And I was like, oh my God, I used to post every single day that it was his birthday. So we had to go say hi to Tyler Nordby on his birthday. And we would go post it as well. Hi, Tyler Nordby. We loved you from Twilight.
Happy birthday, Tyler Nordby.
Thanks, Tyler. You're a champ.
You're a champ. The patron saint of extras everywhere.
As someone who did like 5 years of background acting now, I'm like, oh God, that must have been the weirdest but best day of this man's life.
I did one day of background. I was in the graduation scene of the Spider-Man movie with what's her butt, whose name is escaping me now.
Emma Stone?
No. Huh?
Emma Stone?
No, the Sally Field.
Oh.
And when she walked out, all the extras started applauding. It was a crazy moment.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm so jaded on movies and TV series from doing background acting for 5 years. I have zero starstruckness about me for anyone ever. They all are they're not terrible people, but none of them know their lines and they're always late to set. So
also you're a New Yorker. I feel like New Yorkers are a little like, whatever, forget about it. You're a movie star, whatever. Well,
all right.
We have three. I think we have three more.
We do.
Stories to go.
Look at us.
Look at us. What is our third category?
Best movie for millennials to recapture the youth.
Because millennials are old. Okay.
I creep when I walk.
I get like so mad at boomers. Like we're not like old. But us, old, like you're a younger millennial. I'm an older millennial.
Amanda, my joints crack like a glow stick whenever I wake up. I am an old woman.
Yes, Like, I'm 3 years away from 40. Like, boomers do not understand. We're approaching not young anymore.
No.
But our pick for best for millennials to recapture the youth, drumroll.
The never-ending story.
This is a sad movie for certain parts.
Of course.
There's a part of me that's like, maybe we should have gone with one of our honorable mentions, like
Land Before Time.
But Land Before Time is also very sad. Millennials had a sad childhood. It's sad childhood.
No wonder why we had a giant emo phase that we're still not done with. These were our movies.
The thing I remember most about this movie, watching it as a child, and this is going to be so bizarre, you know the scene where he's eating the apple? He's run away from another part of wherever he's warding out the storm, and he has an apple, and he starts eating it while he's reading a book. He eats the whole thing, core and all. Like, he's just the weight, and that is maybe I was a weird kid, but I was like, he just ate the whole thing, core and all, and he made it look like I want to do it.
By the way, Ares hates his children apparently because he just introduced them to the never-ending story and wants them to have nightmares.
I love it. It is sad though, because they mean Atreyu. You know, poor Atreyu. Right? That was the horse's name, right?
I think so. I don't have it up, but
we're talking about movies we haven't watched in a bit. Wow, that's awesome. Are you gonna, Ares, are you gonna show your kids the sequel? Because there is a sequel.
Because it's never ending.
Yeah, because it's never ending.
All right.
Fourth category.
We all know what this is.
Best movie with the most problematic author we just pretend doesn't exist anymore.
Can we just
Yeah.
I'm still lobbying for Warner Brothers to buy the Harry Potter franchise rights off of Joanne because I just can't with her.
It's Joanne? Is her first name Joanne?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Joanne Crappy Rowling. K for crappy.
K for crappy.
K for crappy.
Yeah, it's very disappointing because this series, it has everything that you would want to binge in a quarantine. You know, it's got a little bit of heart, a little magic, you know.
And the movies take out some of the more problematic things in the books, like the obvious negative queer quoting of Rita Skeeter, and that she was always described as having mannish hands and broad shoulders, and she transformed herself to get near children and learn their secrets. And now she's written this whole manifesto about how she doesn't like trans people. It's like, okay, Joanne, we knew.
We knew.
We hate you.
I was a little late to the game, but once I was at the game, I said, aha, I see you.
Joanne,
so this is a series that if you haven't seen it, don't buy it. You know, go
pirate it, get it from a thrift store.
Yeah.
Buy from Etsy.
Yes.
Buy from queer creators and queer fan fiction and all of that stuff.
Yeah, go do some of the queer fan. Yeah.
Please do that.
Yeah.
Please. I was obsessed with Daniel Radcliffe growing up to the point where girls would try and make me cry in elementary school by saying, Daniel Radcliffe's ugly. And then when I wouldn't cry, they'd be like, Chelsea said that you would cry if I said that. And I'm like, what is this life? 5th grade was a weird time for me.
5th grade? That's not middle school. Middle school is awful. I blacked it all out.
I hate it. But yeah, I was the weird Harry Potter kid growing up. I'm a huge Slytherin. I am ambitious and I will murder you. So, Joanne, you better look the fuck out. Because you're coming for people I care about. I'm going to kick you in the face. All right.
Where we at? 4th category? 5th category?
Yeah. Final category.
Final category.
Oh my God.
Number 1 documentary, QAnon won't watch.
Hillary! No, I haven't watched this yet. Amanda, sell it to me.
Wait, what did you say? What did you say? I didn't hear you.
I haven't watched this yet, Amanda. Sell it to me.
Okay, I can't sell it to you because I didn't finish it. because I tried to watch it. And it's just too damn depressing. I made it through the second episode. They're also very long. They're very long. I mean, my husband watched the whole thing. He said it was very well done. I believe him. He watches a lot of documentaries. I mean, the man can plow through some American experiences and presidents' history documentaries. But yeah, what I watched I thought was good. It was depressing and it was a little slow for my tastes. So, but it's a documentary which has facts. Albeit documentaries tend to have skewed facts, you know, through the eye of the beholder, through the glasses, the lens that you're watching. But facts, nonetheless. Therefore, QAnon, not really gonna.
Now, Amanda, we have a little extra time, so let's talk about some of the TV series that we've been binging while we're here, while we've got the time. So, Amanda, what's some TV series that you not only have binged, but you recommend other people to do so?
Okay, so I've rewatched Angel, Buffy, Angel, Buffy, and Cougar Town.
Cougar Town.
I mean, I recommend all those.
Eras, look out! I'm gonna make an improvised Cougar Town.
Cougar Town more so on, like, I'm a huge Buffy fan, but honestly, I feel like I gotta recommend Cougar Town a little bit over the others just because it's so fun. Perfect quarantine, and it's like you've got virtual drinking buddies because they drink so much on that show. Like, I can't, like, whenever I put Cougar Town on, my husband is like, uh-oh, you're gonna plow through like 2 bottles of wine.
Listen, you know what? Sometimes you just need that kind of fun drinking time show. Speaking of Cougar Town, I recently binged twice through Community, and for anyone who knows Community, one of the characters is obsessed with Cougar Town.
Yes, Abed is obsessed, and he has a cameo.
Yeah.
And then they do a crossover.
In the paintball episode. I am weirdly obsessed with Community in that I know that there are issues. I know that it's a product of its time. It really is. Which is why improvised Community is coming to. No, Eris is probably sick of me insisting that I'm going to be doing shows.
I mean, but I'm here for imaginary, huh?
Mm-hmm. Listen.
And I watched for the first time Scrubs all the way through, including the 9th season, which
with Dave Franco, baby Dave Franco.
Which one is that?
James Franco's little brother, who's actually married to Alison Brie from Community. We're still talking about Community. No, yeah, he was in, I think, the 9th season.
Is he the really snotty one?
Yes.
Yeah, so I feel like this is another product of like the times, because this show was like out in the early 2000s, right?
Mm-hmm.
That there's this really snotty young male character who was like a big womanizer, and they redeem him a little bit, and it's like, honestly,
we don't need to.
Yeah, it's like I'm not here for redeeming those characters anymore, but that's a product of the times.
Gross.
What are you watching?
So yeah, Community. I flew through the Umbrella Academy. I
haven't watched that.
It's so good. It's like stupid weird, but I love it. It's basically, for anyone who hasn't seen it, in the year like 1980 something, 43 superhero kids are just randomly born. This one rich old dude buys 7 of them and raises buys from these women. These women were not pregnant when they started the day and then gave birth. So I think they wanted to unload these children. So he raises them as like a superhero squad. And this starts at his funeral, all of them getting back together for the first time. Because, of course, if that is your life, it's going to be kind of hell and you're all going to be jaded or on lots and lots of drugs. So there's that. And they have to like stop the apocalypse, and it's a whole thing. And then the apocalypse follows them wherever they go because they're just bad at keeping things together. I did that. The Goes Wrong show is something that I'm obsessed with now.
I didn't know that one either.
There was a show on Broadway, which then transferred to New World Stages off Broadway, called The Play That Goes Wrong. It's amazing. I've seen it 13 times, I believe. I'm obsessed with it. And now the original creators of that have their own show on BBC. It only has 1 season so far. They're filming season 2 now, called The Goes Wrong Show, where they have hour-long plays that are terrible things happen. First of all of the actors in them are purposefully the bad caricature actors that you would see all of the time. The sets are falling apart, costumes go haywire. It is hilarious amounts of fun. There's a lot of clowning in it. I highly recommend it if you just want to laugh for an hour.
Ooh,
and that is on Amazon, I think.
Big belly laughs.
Big belly laughs. And then if you want to scream and cry, there's Black Mirror and the new Twilight Zone with Jordan Peele, both of which I am oddly obsessed with as well.
I can handle screaming and crying in small doses these days. You know, my husband, my husband and I, we use palate cleansers. We binged American Horror Story recently, several seasons, because he hadn't watched a lot of them. But when we finished for the night, we always had to put on a palate cleanser. It was usually like The Simpsons or something.
Well, now you have a new one called The Goes Wrong Show.
Goes Wrong Show. While we're here, I also want to give a huge shout out to an amazing show on Netflix that unfortunately got canceled after its first season. If you haven't seen the Astronomy Club on Netflix, I'm friends with some of those people, and they're hilarious. There's actually a petition to get them to do another season. But Astronomy Club, basically it's a sketch comedy show with all Black performers. It's awesome. It originated at UCB. You should go watch it. It's fun. If you're looking for something fun during quarantine, that's the show you should check out.
Speaking of shows getting canceled, by the way, have you heard what Comedy Central's doing right now, which I highly disapprove of?
Oh no, what?
They're canceling all of their live action shows, like Corporate, which was really fun, and Drunk History, in favor of trying to focus on their animated shows, which they only have one original animated show on their thing, so I don't even know.
I saw that Drunk History got canceled, and on one hand, I can say, oh, focus. You said focusing on animated, right? On one hand, oh, Eris loves Astronomy Club. Yes,
you better.
Has the best recommendations. Like, it's the Eris guarantee, as far as I'm concerned. But on one hand, I can see focusing on animation because you're keeping your voice actors and your animators socially distanced. But a show like Drunk History, like, you could do that socially distanced. Like, you don't have to have a ton of people together to get comedians to get drunk and tell stories, and then, you know, you, depending on how you write the in-between sketchy segments, like, you could stylize that where you only have 1 or 2 people in there. Like, I just don't think they want to think about it.
Honestly, the sketchy segments could have been filmed with all, like, overseas actors in sets and stuff that have opened back up.
I mean, in countries that are doing a better job than we are, Jenny?
Yeah. All of them. All of those countries that are doing a much better job than we are. It could have been, like, all of those sketchy segments filmed over there. Give those actors some work. I don't know.
Are you ready? Like, I mean, probably like 5 years from now, are you ready for quarantine movies? The way, like, we got, like, post 9/11 movies? Are you ready for that?
I am ready for the quarantine rom-coms. I am ready for the...
They're already happening. Love in the Time of Corona. I haven't watched it, but they're already happening, Jenny.
No. I didn't know.
They're here. They've landed.
Yeah.
The quarantine rom-coms are among us.
One of my friends told me about this terrible, terrible date that he went on recently. And I'm like, yeah, that's because anyone who's going to meet a stranger for the first time during a pandemic is going to be a crazy person. That's why. There's, like, no other way.
Although I do feel for people who are, like, dating in quarantine. That's gotta suck. Like, majorly.
That's why you gotta be alone for the rest of your life. It's fine. All my friends lived on the internet anyway.
Right?
All right.
Internet friends. I also thought of this earlier, Jenny, and we didn't make a category for this when we talked about, like, what this show would be about. But I feel like most anticipated movie of quarantine that we can watch, Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Ah!
Wait,
I love Keanu Reeves.
I love him now. I was one of those people early when I was dumb and stupid, who was like, he can't act, whatever, blah blah blah. But I mean, he's amazing. I love him now. I mean, post Always Be My Maybe, Keanu Reeves is a treasure, a national treasure. And I was introduced to Bill and Ted during quarantine. I had never seen them. I didn't watch them in real time in my youth. I told my husband that I had never seen them, and he was like, "Are you serious? I married a person who's never seen any of the Bill and Ted movies." I was like, "Yes, you have." And so we watched them, and I loved them. We're gonna watch it tonight. Tonight after this.
Yes. You know what I'm weirdly excited for, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it? Mulan.
Yes! Oh my god. Yes. Okay, so like I haven't really seen a lot of the live action Disney remakes. I think the only one I watched was Beauty and the Beast.
Which I didn't like. I did not like Beauty and the Beast live action.
You didn't like it? I thought it was fine. I mean,
I didn't understand the point. Like, not enough was changed for it to warrant a live action remake.
I mean, it's a cash grab. A, it's a cash grab. B,
and who directed this, by the way? Can I yell at them? Because why did I have thoughts about Emma Watson, one of the loves of my life. How dare you do that to Belle? I did not like her physicality in it at all. She was walking and standing way too modern compared to the entire chorus and other actual actors not moving the way that modern people move, which was very weird to me. And also she's the first person to sing in the film, and I was like, okay, so they're gonna go with like some naturalistic singing. That's fine. That's totally whatever. And then all of a sudden Gaston has the most beautiful strong voice in the world, and I'm like, what? Could we have made him maybe be less good then, if we're gonna have that happen right after a non-trained singer? Because now all of a sudden, all I'm thinking is, "Oi, all right." And like, I'm not even a singer myself, but at the same time, like, if I'm casting an indie theater show, I'm gonna try and get all of the singers on the same level, whatever level that is. Like, if they all are not super well trained, I'm gonna have that instead of like one super well trained in singing a duet with someone who's not super well trained. That's going to be weird and disruptive to the audience.
I can see that. I am not a singer.
I'm not either.
Notice those things.
I'm not a singer, and that's why I notice those things, because people have yelled at me about how bad my singing voice is my entire life. So
what?
Oh yeah.
Fuck those people. You should want to sing. Yeah.
I will. My throat is full of popcorn right now, but if it wasn't, I would bust out such a good song. I was just putting it in popcorn.
My teeth are full of popcorn, and it's been all of my self-control and will to not pick the popcorn kernels because I am live on the internet right now. But yeah, I'm excited for Mulan too because of what you said earlier. Like, it seems like the first one of the live actions where they've changed it and it's drastically different. Like, there is no animated cartoon dragon.
No. Why would we take out Eddie Murphy's part?
Huh?
Why would we take out Eddie Murphy's part? Just have Eddie Murphy.
I loved Eddie Murphy's part. Mushu, was that
Mushu.
Yeah, I love that part. But at the same time, I don't know. How do you feel about remakes, Jenny? Are you a pro, anti, or you don't really care?
There has to be a reason for it to happen. Like, one of my most hated remakes is the Footloose remake, which, by the way, starts with a paradox. Can we talk about Footloose? Have you seen the Footloose remakes?
Jenny, I haven't seen Footloose.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ruin the remake for you in a second.
I feel like if we continue the series, we should be like talking about movies we've watched, and Footloose should be on it, right? I mean,
so the first Footloose movie was a product of its time, but a lot of the songs, especially the titular song, Footloose, was written for the movie. New Footloose starts out with some DJ at a party going, okay, everybody knows this song, whoa! And then the Footloose song, the first movie, starts playing. So did these people in this town live in a world where a movie happened and then they played it out in real life? Or did they live in a town where the Footloose movie didn't exist, but for some reason that song was made anyway?
I don't know.
It started off that bad, and I was questioning that much already, and then also Julianne Hough, they tried to make her look 15 for a scene, and I was like, oh, this is not going to be good for a movie. So that's how I felt about the remake of Footloose. But I don't really like remakes in general.
You don't?
I'm not a huge fan.
See, I don't know. I was very ambiguous about remakes, and then there were so many people like on social media and Twitter's not real life, so fuck Twitter, whatever. But like they're poo-pooing all these remakes, and I get it, but at the same time, you can always just watch the original. It's like the original doesn't cease to exist.
Yeah.
Like you just don't have to pay attention to it. So I have become pro remake.
Really?
Yeah, just because like they're kind of fun. It's like a walk down nostalgia memory lane, and if you don't like it, you can always palate cleanse with the original. But I do agree with you on having a reason. Like I do feel like if people are like, oh, this will be fun to remake, they should take into consideration how we have changed since the original. Like case in point, Ghostbusters.
I love the Ghostbusters, but I feel like that was more of a reboot than a remake.
I love it. Yes, definitely. But I love to piss off dudes on the internet by being all like, the remake's better than all the originals. I mean, I do think it's better than all the originals.
It was so good.
Bill Murray. Fuck Bill Murray. I have very strong feelings. Bill Murray shows up to any of my life events and tries to photobomb, I'm going to punch him in the nards. Like, hard. So.
Oh my God. Michael Birch left a comment on this video. Michael Birch, you are up next. There is this link that you can come into and see and be next on the show, Michael Birch. Thank you so much for commenting. Please be next on the show. You're closing us out.
I'm going to watch some of those documentaries.
I want to see some of those documentaries too.
I have Disney Plus. I might as well.
I don't.
Use it. I wish we could have a watch party on Disney Plus.
That'd be fun. We get shut down real hard by Disney.
So many cease and desist letters. How are we on time, Jenny?
Michael Birch is our next act, our final act of the show. So whenever Michael Birch gets in here, then we can do more stuff.
Well,
we can get, yeah.
Can I share with you my dream remake?
Yes.
So my dream remake is Princess Bride. Wait for it. A bunch of people are prepared to hate me right now. I get it. But it's Princess Bride with the Muppets.
Oh!
Miss Piggy as Buttercup. Kermit as the Dread Pirate Roberts. And a couple of other like mother bit roles with like celebrities, you know, like Muppets do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great. It just didn't happen.
Gonzo has to be like what do they call the rats in the thing? The giant rats? I forget.
I know what you're talking about, but I forget.
Anyway, that's my dream remake.
Did you hear about the Quibi thing with the Princess Bride?
I did, and I don't have the Quibi.
I have the Quibi, but I haven't watched it.
Okay.
For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, they did a reading of the Princess Bride with Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. Sophie Turner was Wesley. Joe Jonas was Princess Buttercup. The little boy reprised his role as little boy. Michael Birch, you're not here. Don't say we are here. If you were here, I would see you down here grayed out in the studio. Michael Birch, get into the link that I sent you today.
Hurry up, because I finished my wine and I'm going to...
Yeah, I sent it at 3:25 today. Michael Birch, get in here so you can do your set.
I mean, I've watched a lot of TV. I have a lot to talk about.
We can keep talking. You know what, Michael? Just stay there. Stay there. We'll just keep talking.
I'm running out of popcorn, though. I don't have any more. That's the true.
That's the problem.
True emergency.
That is a true emergency.
Popcorn in Amanda's house.
Oh my God.
Jenny, I mean, maybe this will kill our vibe here, but did you watch any of the DNC or the RNC while we're talking?
I did not. I did not. Mostly because, especially the RNC, I knew I was going to throw stuff, and I also knew that the Daily Show was going to cover all of the important parts.
So you watch the Daily Show?
I love the Daily Show.
Awesome.
I love the Daily Show. I've been watching the Daily Show since before I really knew what politics was. We're here now. No, Michael Birch. Get into the studio. You are not here.
Tour of my home because my computer gave me the 10%. So come with me as I go to get my power cord. This is my abode. I live I live in the Bronx. Here we go. Hello, husband.
Tom.
Say hi to Tom, everyone.
Tom, are you ever going to give us a video for electoral dysfunction, or are you just ghosting?
Yeah.
Rude.
There's been some miscommunication with that, but we're on it. So I have my power cord now, y'all. So I can plug in. I don't think the power cord reaches where my setup is, so we're just gonna have to augment that.
We clicked on the link. It is not work. How is it not working? We're in the link. Yes, it is working, Michael Birch. We're going to have to bail. Michael Birch is in the studio now. It says device is not connected, but Michael Birch is going to be here. So guess what, Amanda? This was real fun. And up next is Michael Birch. Michael, I'm adding you. It's an empty stage right now. Michael Birch.
Right.
He's a transparent individual. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can. All right, you guys ready to go?
So we had kept clicking working. Now it's working. So isn't that good news? Hi.
Yes, it is. Hi.
Here's Michael.
Great.
We had a little bit of a rough time getting going, so we're a little frustrated. Do you want to do the song with us?
I'm too upset.
Let's do it.
I'm too upset.
Let's do it.
I've been sitting here since 6 o'clock.
I know. Let's do it, though. We're live now.
I'm sitting there, why aren't we doing it? I'm at 17, 7:30, 35.
It's okay.
I can't. Honestly.
All right. That's great. So awesome. All right. Well, that was a good drill. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining Frigid Fridays, everybody. Thank you so much. Please join us back on this channel again at 8 p.m. for the Reparations Show.
Reparations Show.
Yes, please join us for the Reparations Show. The Reparations Show. Please also pay the artists of the Reparations Show. You can Venmo Frigid New York with the note reparations because we would like to give reparations. And yeah, thank you guys all so much for listening to Amanda and I do this forever. You can see us again in October or maybe sooner than that if we would like to get drunk and eat popcorn on camera again. And yeah, tune in for reparations. Ha-ha.